Welcome to numerologist.com. My name is Vannessa and I'm from Beyond Your Sun Sign. This is your weekly tarot reading for January 31st to February 7th. Let's get started. Okay, so you know the drill, and I urge you to actually do this. Just take a deep breath in and exhale. Now think of a number between 1 and 3. All right, so the number that you thought of in your mind's eye is the energy that you're working with this week, January 31st to February 7th. The reason why it's so important to take a deep breath in is because we are in the midst of Mercury retrograde, and it has been intense. You'll see how I'm fumbling over my words during this reading. Mercury retrograde is removing all of the masks that everybody wears. We're seeing people for exactly who they are because they can't, try and charm us and con us with their wordplay. So really taking stock of what people are saying to you, because this is their truth. All right, now if you chose card number 1, we have the 6 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords is pretty straightforward, right? It's all about moving on. It's going on that journey. You have the tumultuous water over here and then calm waters over here, so it's really about saying, all right, it's time to think, because swords represent our mental clarity and our thought process. It's time to think about our responsibilities, the 6 energy, and say, all right, this has been too tough. Let's start to move on. Let's move forward in life. However, as you can tell that the trees in the background there, they're gray. Like, we can't see it clearly. We know that it's calmer. We know that it's smoother sailing, but we just don't see the color in it. We don't see how beautiful that future will be once we decided to move forward. So this card popped out as I was repeating an affirmation about love and worthiness. And it was, as I said, I am confident, that this card popped out. So it's about having the confidence to start at least thinking that it's time to move on, right? And if you don't know what you need to do, what steps to take in order to move on, pull tarot or ask for a sign, right? Literally just say, "What universe, what sign can you show me that proves that I need to move on, that convinces me, that gives me the confidence to remind me that I need to move on, and then how do I go about doing it?" And then just really looking around, it sometimes it is incredibly obvious. Other times you have to use your intuition and trust your gut with it, being like, okay, I know that song has meaning for me. I feel that little ding in the back of my head, in my mind's eye. That song was for me, and I'm deciding to trust my intuition. All right, if you chose card number 2, this card is face down. And as I was telling you guys, quite a bit, when it's face down, it's something that we've repressed into our subconscious. We've pushed it down. I don't want to look at it. And now what tarot does is says, surprise, bitch. Like, you have to look at this. You're going to look at this. And what it is the Emperor card. And this is all about empowerment and feeling empowered and realizing that power starts within the home and family. It can feel very, very awkward to realize mom now relies on you. Dad now is listening to what you're saying. Your spouse is now really putting a lot of power into your hands, and we want to push it down. We want to still be that inner child. We still want to have fun and be free and not have to make these big daddy decisions. This is frustrating and stressful and too much power and too much pressure and responsibility. But the whole point of this week is to recognize that we need to no longer repress the fact that we have power within our home and family. Just bring it to the surface, and then just like somebody born into it, a leader who is naturally born into it, you'll know what to do to empower the rest of your family. And therefore, of course, that trickles out into your career, into your friendships, into your hopes, your dreams, your public image. It trickles out in every area. Embrace the power that you have at home and do something positive with it. Start a movement. Okay, so if you chose card number 3, I know this is something that I typically do when a lot of cards pop out over top. I'll dismiss them, but I'm just feeling inclined this week and only this week to actually read you the cards that have popped out, but you need to be doing a lot more inner work regarding this week and regarding this week's reading, because I can't give you all of the details because it is still generalized. All right, if you chose card number 3, we have the 4 of Cups, which is all about like an apathy, right? It's like a boredom at home. Nothing's really happening, but you know what? At least I'm stable. I'm comfortably numb. And this is linked and related to a Queen of Wands, a female fire sign, a female Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. there's something about your loyalty or devotion to this Queen of Wands energy where it's kind of okay to be bored at home and just have that apathy. But without that apathy, like without that spark, right, with just boredom and like plain Jane energy, it's not very exciting. And the Queen of Wands, it's interesting that the Queen of Wands is influencing this boredom at home, because the Queen of Wands is fire energy. Fire is spontaneous, and it's a spark, and it's a firework. Firework is anything but boredom. You know? I'm sorry, but if you go to a fireworks display and somebody is bored, what's wrong with them? Like, look up, right? So the cards that popped out over top of it that are essentially the reason why you feel this level of boredom with the Queen of Wands is because your intuition and your strength of character has linked you to a Queen of Swords, so a feminine air sign, a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and you want to start something new with that Queen of Swords and with a female earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, in order to make a shift. So because of the past with these other two feminine energies, the air and the earth, it's like, let me just be calm here, because I've already had that energy with these two other relationships, and my intuition, you know, spiked during that time. My character spiked during that time. And it really did create a new beginning when it comes to the shifts I want to make. So the boredom actually is a good thing, because it's kind of the opposite of the energy that you've had with the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. And it's a good apathy. It's a good boredom. With boredom comes the urge for inspiration. We need to get bored and not be constantly stimulated to go inward and be like, what do I want to do? You know, when you're bored and you want to eat something, a lot of times you get creative, right? All right. So as always, if you would like to dive deeper into your cards, especially if you chose card number 3, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at Beyond Your Sun Sign, or you can email me directly, beyondyoursunsign@gmail.com. Love you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.